You know, the first part, of course, of any kind of cooking in New Orleans is usually involves a roux, which is darkening some flour, which is what I'm doing here. It looks kind of grayish, but it's actually more brown than anything. You're looking at shadows. You want it to get a nice caramel brown color. And really, the key to a good roux, I find, is not using oil. Just brown it automatically in a dry skillet. It takes a little bit longer, but it's a lot less oily, you know, the finished product. So get your roux all set and go, ready to go. And then we're going to add the liquid to that, which will start our base for our crawfish bisque. So people often wonder, like, how dark is too dark when it comes to the flour. And actually, I like it to be kind of a caramel color. Alright, this is better here. So I went ahead, when you're doing your roux, basically that's just your base for what you're cooking. And now if you're going to do a red sauce, then you want to make sure and add your tomato paste, which is what we're doing. We're doing kind of a reddish brown sauce for our etouffee. So I went ahead and added some tomato paste to the roux. You see some of the lumps are still there, but they're going to cook out. So you kind of want a dark, muddy red color in here. So I'm going to mix all that together, adding shrimp stock or whatever stock you're adding as you go along to make the base of this tomato sauce, which is what we're going to use as a base for our crawfish etouffee. Alright, so now after your roux is all nice and ready, you can start adding more layers of flavor. I sauteed some onions, of course the Trinity, onions, bell peppers, and celery, and a little garlic, put that in here, along with some chopped tomatoes. I use those little fresh cherry tomatoes. I'll just chop them up into a fine puree and put that in here. Also, bay leaf, definitely drop a few leaves. Alright, so I'm trying to help you get this color here. But this is like a brownish red. It's got, I put some butter in here. I got some sauteed vegetables, onions, of course the Trinity, onion, celery, and bell peppers. Got some tomato in here that I've done. So this is a base for my crawfish etouffee sauce, my crawfish bisque. Little flavor, get a little aroma going. But as you can see, this is a nice, thick, rich sauce. It's ready to be made into a crawfish bisque. Now, what makes a bisque is the chopped up meat that you put in here. So we're going to be making crawfish bisque. So we're going to take some crawfish tails. We're going to put them in the blender. And then we're going to mix it all up and kind of grind it up. So as you can see, I've added some more seafood stock to my base, which was the roux and all of our green and delicious vegetables, fresh vegetables. And we've also added crawfish tails to this and the pureed crawfish, or the really ground up crawfish. That's going to make for a really thick, rich sauce. As you can see, every spoon has crawfish in it, and that's pretty much what you want. We're going to serve this over rice. Now, the key component to crawfish bisque is the stuffed crawfish heads. So we're going to show you how to make those in 2 seconds. Now, I really like a lot of green onions in my stuffing. The stuffing is going to consist of the ground crawfish tails, which we have already prepared. I've made some already, which meant I sauteed them in some butter, and I mixed them with some of the tomatoes and things like that, so you can kind of see there's a lot of crawfish tails in there. And but I love green onions in there, so I'm going to put some fresh green onions, going to give it a rough chop, put it in the food processor, and then start processing our crawfish tails to make sort of breading, because we're going to mix that with some breadcrumbs in order to make our stuffing for our crawfish tails. Alright, so this is what it looks like. Kind of looks like ground beef. I'm doing this with my phone, so there it is. It's like all the ground crawfish with fresh seasoning. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to add some breadcrumbs to it, and I'm going to make maybe add a little milk to it, just to make a stuffing for the crawfish heads, which have already been cleaned and they're ready to go. So the next time you see me, I'll have crawfish tails ready for the oven.